Hola mujer. By the way, let's give each other time before answering questions and before exchanging conversation because of the delay and the lag and the stuff. It's just weird.
Wow, someone has been editing.
It's been too difficult.
Mujer, I just ask you to consider one poor mujer editing the first episode with a file in which one other mujer recorded two voices on one line. Imagine this poor mujerita sitting there now.
I imagine, yes.
But yes, I agree. We should take a pause.
That must have been really tough.
It gave me a lot of experience for my new set of editing skills, for sure.
I think it's just teaching me to slow down and show some self-control. You know how much I like to talk.
Nah, but I love you talking though. The feedback I received was like, oh my god, your friend Rahman has such a lovely voice. I love the guy. So that's
Thank you, friends. I have received only one bit of feedback so far from the friends on my side. And it said, your friend sounds really authentic. You guys keep it real. That's amazing. So, authentic friend, that's you, Mujerita.
That's me. I mean, all my life, if there was one value that I've been striving to achieve in my life, it's authenticity. So thank you, anonymous Rahman friend, for calling me authentic. I love that. All right, are we starting our podcast strong with reviewing our last bit? Because as the last podcast is still in edition, let's review maybe our first episode going live, no? Not live, but public.
Yes, it is public now. We have 3 subscribers now on YouTube. So we're basically celebrities right now. Yeah, like you can hear it in my voice now. I'm like on such a high horse. It's like, who's talking to me here?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's nice. I actually don't know who the subscribers are. I don't understand YouTube that well yet.
Yeah, give it time. In general, I don't know. This podcast just has been such a joy. I have no idea that I'll be so excited about it. Like when you made the YouTube channel, I was like screaming. I was jumping on the bed. I woke up. I was like, I'm a podcast girl now, So happy. I'm so happy about it. I don't know. And I really don't mind that we don't have the views or listens or whatever. It's just so nice. I listened to this fucking episode again just for joy.
You are our biggest fan, Mujerita. That's amazing. Happy New Year, Moher.
To you too. It hasn't been happy for you so far.
No, actually, I've been feeling pretty good the beginning of this year compared to the end of last year, especially around Christmas time. It was emotionally trying, but I believe that I'm in a better place, at least a little bit better.
You seem better, although you kept strong through this challenging time. At least you didn't show to me. I'm glad to hear you feel better. And how has the last year been for you then? Your birthday was still very, very far to go. We were like free and innocent.
Oh, wow. You're asking about 2023, how it was. It was interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. Somebody asked me this question a couple days ago, and my answer was the same, that 2023 was pretty interesting. So when it comes to work, it was better than the year before and the year before. Let's say better than COVID years for sure. Mm-hmm. When it comes to work experience, I have been doing something a little bit different. So I'm still teaching, but I'm teaching 2 new subjects. So I have been having a new kind of experience. Also, I used to work for different places throughout the years, but now I'm working for only one place during the day besides that one place in the evening.
But also the stability is new.
Exactly, yeah. So that sense of stability has been also new when it comes to work. Just like, and I live near work now for the first time. Speaking of Vietnam, so I have been really enjoying that. Mm-hmm. Teaching math, teaching science, still teaching English as well. That has been a bit of a challenge, dealing with the bit of a new environment, very weird demands sometimes from parents, from management, but also a lot of good days, a lot of good times. So when it comes to work, it's been a plus. So that's really good.
I have a question.
Alhamdulillah. Please ask. Go for it. Go for it.
Maybe we exaggerate with the amount of the pauses, no, Emmett? I love to cut you when you speak. I don't know. I cannot hold myself anymore. Okay, Vale. My question was, it's the first time that you have such a stable job, but what goes with it, I imagine, is the stability of your group. You have more time to get to know your students now. They are small. You see them grow. Do you feel affected by it? Like, do you build some attachment? Is it nicer to you? Do you feel more connected? How does this work, having this group consistently and this particular age of kids and stuff? You like it?
Yes, I like that a lot, actually. I mean, speaking of the attachment, that's a little bit tricky. I think I told you before, we had some issues at the school where we had some of the best kids leaving the school because the parents did not like the management anymore, or because they had some disagreement.
Yeah, totally.
I would say there was strong attachment, and it was heartbreaking seeing them go. And now there was a second wave actually happening also recently, but did not hurt as much because the first time somehow taught you a lesson.
Oh, wow.
So now you don't want to be so attached at the same time. So it's a little bit sad. I had quit my online job last month.
Yeah.
And I had to say goodbye to a family that I had been working with for 4 years. I saw a girl grow from 6 to 10, and
Wow.
she was very little. She did not speak much, and now she's almost a woman, and she's very clever, very smart, very beautiful. And her baby sister started studying with me, and that was really a beautiful development to see and witness. Even though it was online, and you could, see a child grow and evolve and develop in so many different ways. And of course, it was really sad. These kids' birthdays are on my calendar. Like, they made it. So I'll be like, okay, I have to be saying happy birthday, Mimi and Misu, whenever their birthdays are, because the calendar will be reminding me. Yes, that's how I do it. It's not that I just remember. I remember to add things to the calendar, hey?
Yeah, and that's more than some of us do, believe me, so that's fine.
Oh, you'd be surprised the kinds of ridiculous stuff I add. I'm like, buy tuna tomorrow. For real. Like, I'd be like, I want some cans of tuna, just put them on the calendar. So that when I look the next day, I'm like, all right, I know what I need to get today, It's this way where I don't allow for a lot of room for error when it comes to things. Like, I remind my brother-in-law of his wedding anniversary. And I'm like, hey, get a cake for my sister, don't forget.
Oh, but that's so shitty, man. That's not cool, I think.
No, that's cool. I don't tell her that. I have no idea if he remembers on his own or not. I didn't ask him. I volunteer this because I wish for them to be having, a lovely, happy marriage. I do this with some friends. I'm not saying that they forget, but I'm not going to allow them to forget. I mean, I care about them in this way. So I take it upon me to be like, hey, remember, you married your wife 3 years ago. On Valentine's Day. You should never be forgetting, but I'm reminding you anyway.
Oh my God, they married on Valentine's Day and he still possibly
They
forget.
never say that they forget. No, they don't say that. I just volunteer.
Mujer, why are you taking that responsibility on you?
For fun.
Yeah, fun my bullshit. For sure not. Like, there's some insecurity there, I think.
They did not ask me. I just watched a lot of movies and I saw a lot of memes on social media and I was like, it seems like men tend to forget. I have no idea, but there seems to be this general assumption. Well, I learned to use a calendar. I'm not sure how much of the people out there learn how to use a calendar. I don't even know. So.
Anyway, I wanted to tell a little bit of story, urban legend, let's say, from my other friend of a friend that I know. So almost firsthand. It's a guy that would put into his calendar to, for example, put on pants.
Too much.
Too much, right?
Too much. No, that's not good.
All right. I just wanted to mention that I struggle with work relationships a lot in the kind of way, like I get attached very easily on a human level. And still from my last work, people are something that I miss so much. Now that I traveled to Poland, I met them. I couldn't make it to a work party, which I regretted so much. I still met with two of my coworkers. We recorded a Christmas song together, actually. It was so much fun, but yeah, I miss those guys. And now I'm a babysitter sometimes, and I am building a connection. Like, I'm thinking about this kid when I'm traveling. When I was in London, I saw Charlie Chaplin performing on the street, and I was like, oh my God, he just learned the Charlie Chaplin song. I gotta send him this video. And I am sometimes thinking, because I'm of course applying for other jobs. I just applied for some stop motion job yesterday. And I'm thinking, damn it, but then what? I'm just going to leave this guy and never know how he ended up or anything like that. I want to know how his grades are and how he's doing and how his jiu-jitsu lessons and stuff. It will be tough to just go.
Yeah, you actually love them.
Yeah.
These kids, that you teach even the naughtiest of them, you end up just loving them anyway, somehow.
Yeah.
Recently, one of the, let's say, most challenging kids in grade 3 left. Okay, I did wish in the first month that he would go, but now that it had been 4 months and he was actually going after he'd been tamed already, after we've done all the work. Mm-hmm. But I've always liked children, so maybe that's also a weakness I have when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
I learned to be attached to nephews, nieces, little brother, little cousins. So I can approach them in a similar sense, like they're my babies somehow.
Okay, for me it's more about the amount of time, I guess, I spent with someone.
Of course, that's how connections get built.
Yeah, and it's so crazy that we have something like professional relationships while you can basically spend 8 hours a day sitting next to someone, learning about the most mundane elements of their day. And this is, I think, how love and attachment is formed, basically, even when I despise the guts of someone in my work, I would still feel attached and kind of connected to them if I see so many aspects of their life. I think it's crazy how little value people seem to put on working relationships. Yeah, I really struggle now with it. I think people are the most important part of work for me.
Yes, they can add a lot of joy to a place, for sure. Yeah, if you have good, colleagues or classmates. Yeah, of course, it's really nice. You feel like you belong. You have a family, or sort of.
Yeah.
That's how they kill you. That's how That's how it gets to hurt.
Exactly, it did hurt. It did hurt, and I was advised many times to really divide this relationship into two. To keep my work relationships at work, kind of, and not allow them to affect my personal life. But I don't think I even understand the concept, honestly. I talk to someone and then of course I think about them when I do work, because this is who I work with. I don't know how to not be affected by those people. I think about them. They exist in my life now. So yeah, it's weird.
No, I find it normal to be making friends with people you work with. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, no. No need to divide. If you're getting along, you're getting along. If you're becoming friends, why not? That's a good thing. Of course, if you have to say goodbye at some point, that will suck or that will be sad. But I mean, you meet again apparently and you throw some parties together and you have a good time again. Maybe reminisce of the good old times. And who knows, you might be working again somewhere out there under the same roof or not. But it's a human connection. If you can have it, then why not go for it? Despite the potential pain in the future, if we follow this avoiding logic, we might just end up all by ourselves,
Yeah, that's true. So, would you like to adapt something to the review of your 2023, or that was it?
Financially, it was challenging at some point, but it ended up really nicely. So now I'm kind of hitting my financial targets. Helping the way I want to be helping, saving almost the way I want to be saving. So that's really good. Emotionally speaking, it was a rough year.
Did you like this path though that you went through?
It has been educational. Do I like the pain that came along? No. Do I like the experiences that I had? Yes. Why? Because they basically taught me something about myself. I'll put it this way. Now I know a couple of things that I'm capable of being or doing that I did not know about before. Yeah. Well, how about your 2023, Mohair? Your turn.
I think I never was so shocked and disappointed with a year before. I never misjudged future so hardcore like this year for sure.
Wow.
I'm not super negative about it anymore, I think. In the summer, I made with Sergi a review of half a year resolutions kind of thing. And that's too depressive to listen to. We even recorded that and it's like too much. But now I'm not that depressed about it anymore. But I still cannot judge it. Like, I still don't know what really happened. I really wanted to focus on myself, to give myself some peace and direction, to slow down. And in a way, I did that. Like, I'm slower than ever right now in my life, for sure. But I got so lost, so emptied out, and in like some strange hurricane of winds in different directions. Like, it was really weird. I'm not sure I got closer to myself. Definitely, I got more confused. I'm glad how much I went through in my like romantic relationship. I made progress that I never thought I would be able to. And I've had moments of peace within this relationship that were also out of my imagination last year. So that's really nice. It feels very good to feel more and more stable in my thoughts, more secure. And I also had to like fight some demons, I guess, in my head and some imagination of myself that I had. But yeah, definitely the biggest challenge of this year for me was work. Lack of work, to be precise. I don't know. I still haven't dealt with it, I think, completely. I didn't know that I would connect my self-worth so much to what I produce. And I was so fucking confident at the beginning of this year. And so like, I got this, like, yeah, easy peasy. And I'm just yin and yang and I'm all myself. Like, we have a saying in Poland that I am a boat, a sail, and a steering wheel, you know, like all set on a board and I'm good to go. Nope. Like, I got so destroyed so easily just because I kind of didn't have a sense of direction. I didn't have any project to work on and occurred I couldn't be a freelancer at all. I hate it. I want people to collaborate with. I want some creativity. I want to be judged for my work. I want to have a feeling like I'm doing something good.
Believe it or not, from a spectator's point of view, you've seemed a lot happier in 2023 than 2022.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never had this thought before you told me this. Like, you told me this, I think, 2 weeks ago, no?
We mentioned it, yes, last time. Yes, for the first time, we know exactly the source of your, let's say, struggles. Before that, it was more vague. So, you know now exactly the value of work, what means to you, having a project, being judged, all of that, and the kind of value it adds into your life. So it's great. And basically, that's been the only thing missing this year. Everything else has been there. More or less. More or less.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, yeah, you're right. I guess that was why I see it in a more positive light now, because I was finally able to compare it more realistically. Because before, like all my year, I was just regretting. I was so sure that I made the biggest mistake of my life, that I left paradise to go to some hellish place. Because, you know, I had friends and I don't know, family, great work. I was rich-ish, like it was great. And now I burned all my savings. I mean, not all, but 70% of my saving.
You were never rich. I'm sorry.
Hey! I said rich-ish, and I actually noted down this question, and maybe it's a good point to cut this conversation with this question really fast. What for you is enough of money? How much money would you like to have, actually, if you could have any amount of money? I imagine there is an amount of money that would be too much for you, right?
Filthy rich it is. However, that's a bumpy road. I'm not sure how to get there. Would I like it in an imaginary situation? Yes, it would be really nice. Filthy rich would mean that you're enabled in a filthy. We have so much access that only that kind of money could grant you.
Describe me like more or less a picture. Like filthy rich means for you that what? You have a house in the beach. You have 5 houses around the world. You have a plane. What is filthy rich?
Let's think of life experiences. Now, what can you do out there? Can you go to Antarctica and see penguins? Yes, you can. How much does it cost? Maybe $10,000, $15,000. Can you go to space? Well, apparently, yes, you can. How much is it going to cost you to do that? I'm not so sure. Maybe $1 million or something.
Just 2 of my nightmares or things that you would have to pay me to do.
But I'm like, that's a life experience. Hey, that's a life experience that you can actually have by having that much money. So maybe going to space, that would be the most expensive kind of trip one could have right now. And can you afford that experience, So maybe having a private jet would be a nice experience to have. You don't have to buy a ticket. You could just fly somewhere. That could be nice. Flying supersonic or ultrasonic could be a life experience one might want to have, and it's going to be really expensive.
I have a fun fact.
Go for it.
Apparently, traveling in a private jet is much better because of cabin pressure. Like in big touristic planes, the cabin pressure is so much different that it makes you actually very tired physically. So after a private jet, normal size of trip, your body is not that tired. You're not that sleepy. You're as likely to have a jet lag.
There you go. Access to a better flying experience. Now, if you want to get like a Gulfstream or something, you're going to pay, $20 million for that. So let's say to have access to some decent life experiences. Okay, now we're talking about the expensive kind. You will probably need like $100 million in your bank account or something. Can you afford these experiences or not? If the answer is yes, then I guess that's enough.
That's what you would want to reach? Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely appreciate seeing penguins and going to space and flying ultrasonic. A private jet wouldn't hurt as well.
Okay.
Now imagine not having to apply for visas also. That would be really amazing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't require a lot of money. Maybe a contribution of 800,000 euros to the Portuguese government in exchange for a passport. See, that's expensive as well. Not so cheap.
Marrying a Swiss.
Oh, come on. Has a man no honor? Marrying for a passport?
I know. Okay, I definitely don't. I wouldn't want this amount of money. I think it would be more stressful for me than good. I wouldn't like to have a jet or go to space or stuff like that. But I definitely would want to, it would be amazing to not stress about buying a house, definitely. And be able to, design it super with a nice art and shit and, not caring about, few thousand stairs away or that way, yeah. That would be dope. But, well, coming back to my year, thank you for enjoying this little bit of sidetrack. I think that, yes, when I thought about you saying that this year I was happier, I realized that my everyday life is so much more calmer, stable, predictable, and just good and full of love. I get cuddles every day. That's amazing. So compared to last year's, when maybe I didn't have that severe feelings of panic or I didn't miss things that desperately, but every day was a struggle. So yeah, everyday mundanity is definitely better. But yeah, another struggle that I still cannot wrap around my head is Switzerland. Trying to fit in Switzerland and I don't know, like hitting again into my self-confidence, like, oh my God, I'm such a traveler. I've been everywhere. I can even live, I don't know, in Cairo if I have to. And for real, Switzerland was more difficult than Cairo for me.
Excuse me, in Cairo, if I have to, are you looking down at my Cairo? You know, my Cairo kind of built the pyramids.
Listeners, I wanted to make an official statement of my official hate to the city of Cairo, the capital of Egypt, another country that I dislike a little bit.
It's beautiful. Look, Moher, we talked about this before.
Like 1 trip and 1 kilometer square. How beautiful is this?
You were supposed to find the beauty in it, but you needed the eyes of the Ra to guide you. Unfortunately, he had abandoned you and you were left to yourself, facing the demons around the streets and the alleys.
I don't know.
However, the beauty there is in the stories, it's in the stones, it's in the rocks that you walk on, it's in the history.
I went to the deserts. I went to oasis. I listened to people in the streets. I even went to the Great Egyptian Museum for a big African art fair exhibition. And the deeper I dug, the less beautiful it was. Sorry.
Because you were approaching it from a very judgmental point of view through the lens of women's rights more than anything else, political oppression, social oppression, suppression, more than anything else. That's all you saw all the time. Oh, men are suffering, women are suffering even more. That's not a great place. You just did not need to be looking at all the suffering. You could have just seen the smile despite the suffering. The glass half full. I'm going to bring you back there one day. Mark my word. I'm going to make you see it.
I'm just remembering your smart friend who made a comment about listening to our first episode and called me such an authentic person. So how could authenticity not be the number one thing I was looking for in this country, Mujer? How can I look at the smile if it's based on some lies?
No, it's not based on lies. It's based on fear. It's different.
It's based on survival.
What's wrong with surviving? Shall people kill themselves because they're suffering?
No.
No, you rise above it and you hope for a better day, for a better future. You keep the smile on.
I'm
the
too
show
weak
must go
to
on.
hold it. I'm too weak to hold it and to be there. I'm too weak to see and feel the suffering there. Because it's so obvious. It's so going bad and worse and everyone's just denying it. I cannot bear that. Like, I don't hate on people. I really love the people of Egypt and I feel for them. I'm just like too weak to cry with them, you know.
We don't cry.
Yeah, exactly. And
we
now we go
party. We party. Come on. Okay. So, all right. It's been an eventful year, it seems. So, Moher, are you ready for sharing your New Year resolutions? It's 2024 now. You've made a plan for this year.
Yes. I didn't have very defined resolutions last year, but this year I did try to define them a lot. I think you will not be shocked, but my number one resolution is to focus on my art more. And I don't need to sketch more or paint or whatever. I want to, number one, continue the podcast because I consider it also like some creative artistic thing that I do and it brings me so much joy. So I want to continue. Number two, I want to make a few online meetings with sketching and drawing with people because I made it once last year. It was cool. People have been asking me to repeat that, so I think I will try. And I had one more thing that I forgot. It's kind of manifestation. I just want to invite art to my life a bit more and without any stress. Because last year I tried to paint and tried to find a job in it, so it was very stressful. Now I just want to kind of embrace it without any expectations. My another resolution, I want to try to fight with my pain, physical pain in my body. I already went to physiotherapy. I'm on therapy too, trying to work on that. I don't think I can do it, honestly. I'm not sure if it depends on me, really, but I'm ready to spend money and time on it this year. I'm doing little exercises every day. I want to go back to meditation every day. Just like try and do what I can and see where it brings me. So that's my 2 resolutions. I also had a third one that I forgot. So your turn.
Okay, well, the last time I did anything of this sort was like 10, 11 years ago.
Wow. What made you do it again?
Just reaching a point of life where old wounds start to open up again. And then you get in a similar state of mind or emotions. And you're like, okay, maybe change is inevitable or is due. So,
or maybe you're ready for it, no?
Sure. We can also say that. Yes, why not? Ready for it. You're supposed to be born ready, but yeah.
Nah. If you've been hurt and struggling, you might have needed rest, And now maybe you're emerging from that and feeling ready for some action. I don't know.
Feeling more calmness than ever, actually. I'm not sure about so much action this year.
Calmness. Wow, awesome. I believe all calmness is thanks to the podcast and our weekly talks,
Okay. Like, I have no idea how much of action-filled stories you'll be hearing this year, but I have no idea. Sometimes I surprise myself actually a lot. So we'll see.
I'm still thinking that you should write a book about your last year. So much happened. It could be a series even.
Ah, dear Lord. I don't know about that. You write it. You said if I don't, you would. Hey, so why don't you?
Okay, maybe next year.
You have all the data already. Well, more or less. You can always ask questions. I can always send you your own personal podcast of data, So the main theme is basically trying to reignite my passion for things in general. Or let's say reviving old hobbies, for example, things I used to enjoy a lot. Just trying to maybe make some change that's not gigantic. Okay, I have set some goals that are very, very realistic. The most realistic goals I've ever set in my life. And the first one is keep my room tidy and guest ready every day, forever.
Oh my God, forever. That's such a Mujerrian New Year resolution.
It's been about.
I'm never going to fucking take a step back.
No, it's like the moment I thought about it was not even the beginning of the year. It's been like 2 weeks already. So I started this around Christmas. And I'm like, I should actually have my room tidy every day. That'd be really nice. It should be ready to receive guests without prior notice. So that's the idea. Because that's when you try to make your room look its best self. So I'm like, why not make it so every day before I go to work? And then until it's time to sleep. So that's basically the number one
awesome. And it gives you joy
goal
on itself.
It does. Yes, I actually wrote reasons why I should be doing this. And the first one was it actually feels good.
Aww. You did such a great job on your New Year's resolution. That's awesome.
Yes. And the second thing is to be able to spend more time at home and enjoying it alone or with friends or guests.
Great. I love it.
Yeah. Another thing was to be, let's say, embracing old or new hobbies. And that can be done by daily reading and writing. However, I have set some very short time as a goal so that I don't feel overwhelmed or discouraged. So that's just 20 minutes of reading a day and 10 minutes of writing before going to bed, basically. Yeah.
Wow. Are you familiar with like a path of artist or something like this? I don't know, but there is this book that was quite revolutionary for a lot of artists out there. I know a lot of them too, and I've been trying it. It's called Morning Pages. It's basically for all creative people, and I think you are one of them. So you sit in the morning. First thing you do after waking up is you're supposed to write 5 pages. I couldn't do it because when I wake up, I'm a puppet and I couldn't even hold the pen and I can't even, like, it's terrible. But a lot of my friends are still doing it. It's been years. So I think, I mean, yours, 10 minutes is also, of course, great, but like 5 pages, apparently it works magic. I don't know.
It's funny you mentioned this. This book had been gifted to me by a dear friend in 2018, and 5 pages was too much of a daily commitment, yes. I did it for some time, and then I stopped, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And this time I would like just to be basically writing for 10 minutes about my day and just maybe vent out, express some random emotions, ideas, thoughts, whatever, just blah blah basically.
No, awesome.
I feel would make me feel more sane somehow, and also a bit of it is about trying to make this a hobby, like to see how much I would enjoy writing, because I did write a lot before, but in pulses. I've never really done it on a regular basis. So I'm hoping this time that I would be able to see how much I actually enjoyed or not by doing that. If I do it long enough and it's not exactly the biggest source of joy, then I guess I would have learned that maybe it's not the best hobby for me.
Sure.
But I wouldn't want to be making a promise of writing 5 pages a day and then feeling overwhelmed. I just set a timer to 10 minutes while being sleepy before going to bed, just to see what's up, during that day.
By hand or on the computer?
Yes, no, by hand.
All right.
Yeah, and I had started reading again. I have been reading actually all the time, but just slowly. So maybe in 2023 I read maybe 3 or 4 books, so not so many. And I also have written here that I would like to be going swimming once a week and try to make that like a hobby. I've enjoyed swimming every time I did it. So I'm thinking it's like maybe an activity to do and commit to for the weekend. And of course, there's learning French every day, a little bit.
Oh, wow.
We're doing that, Maher. We're doing it. That's all, basically. These are all the big promises I made this year.
That's a lot. And they're very concrete. And there is a lot about like sticking to it every day, which is like brave, I think.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. Just keeping the room tidy is every day. Swimming is just once a week. Reading and writing and learning French just Monday to Friday.
Okay, but it's 5 days a week. Like, it's basically every day.
I don't know about Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure what I'll be doing.
Swimming.
I am not sure. Probably up to no good. Who knows? You have to ask me about this every time we talk to see how much I'm maintaining my promise.
I will keep score of that. And I had a resolution in the summer to swim every week. And I went to swim 3 times.
Amazing.
Yeah. I still have 10 entries, I think, on my card. So it shall continue once I'm back to Switzerland.
We're learning French at the same time, so we can be swimming at the same time too. Why not?
Yeah, I'm not learning every day though. Sorry, I'm learning Spanish every day on Duolingo.
Okay. I'm learning French every day on Duolingo.
I saw this betrayal, sadness in your eyes when I said it.
Not at all. I was just thinking of the streak freeze thing that I hate. It was not me thinking of you learning Spanish.
I'm getting a message. Lovely. I loved it. I'm getting a super random message from Rahman this week. It was at 6 p.m. and it said, just a random thought. I really hate the streak system Duolingo applies. That's it. What's up?
Duolingo challenges you to maintain a daily streak. If you go on the app and learn a single lesson for 5 minutes, you're good. Now, that's fantastic. I actually like that. However, they tell you equip a trick. You can skip a day and get away with it. They are so freaking discouraging. Do you know the last time I was actually using Duolingo to learn French every day? I did it for a very, very long time. Do you know how I actually stopped? When one day I was really tired, I didn't feel like it, and I felt ready to let the streak go. And then Duolingo froze it. I could not look at myself in the mirror. That was not a good thing to do. I was ready to start afresh. I was ready to start anew. And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait until. And then freeze it for one more day. 2 more freaking days. Why?
Rahman,
They should
mujer.
be true. They should be true to their word. We maintaining a streak. It has to be my work. I have to earn it. No blue tricks. It's not honorable.
Some worlds, like America, are not as cruel as Egypt world. And you can get a second chance. You can even get a third chance and still win.
No, thank you.
So sad that you tried to fail. You were ready to fail. You were ready to give up and die on Duolingo. And Duolingo takes you like a good therapy dog. They're like, no, I'm not letting you go. Here's your streak phrase. Take it.
So, like that day, I sent you the message. I gave up because I wanted to learn some French. And I thought I would start afresh, but it did it again. It gave me 2 streaks for free. Frozen. I didn't want it. And I'm like, it's happening all over again. It pissed me off so much. So much, you have no idea. I'm like, I wanted to start afresh. It was 19 days and I missed a day because I was out partying for New Year's Eve or whatever. I was ready to let it go. I was starting a new year. It was fine. But then they did that and I feel like I'm a cheater. I don't want to be that guy.
You're not a cheater. It's okay to get some help.
The number
From
doesn't
Duo.
mean anything now. That streak means nothing because it's not honest.
I had the same because I had a break with Duolingo, and when I first started, there was just like 1 streak freeze, and it was very hard to get. So now with 2 streak freezes, it felt like it's even impossible to fuck it up anymore. But no, it's still hard. And you know what, Rahman? I want to learn languages, but I don't want to feel attached to my phone all the time. Sometimes, like, I don't know, we went with Sergi hiking to some remote place. My phone died and I just let it die for like 2 or 3 days. And what? I'm supposed to lose my streak just before I want to be away in nature?
You are supposed
No,
for
I
nature's
might be
sake.
learning-
It should be fine, Mohair. It shouldn't be a
I'm
problem.
with a Spanish speaker. I'm learning so much Spanish hiking there.
Listen to me now or listen to yourself. What means more, you learning the language or a stupid number of a streak that's used as means of encouragement? What matters more is you learning. So you're achieving your learning goals. That's
Yes.
what matters. Not the number. It becomes
Okay,
more
well,
about the
listen,
number.
listen.
It's like a body count
What
thing. It's about
matters-
meaning. It's about emotions. It's
No,
not about
look,
love.
Look. It's not about number. It's about motivation.
I know.
Because for Duolingo, what matters more? Learning or motivation? Motivation, because they want you to learn a little bit, but every day. That's their method. So it's fine. Like for me, like when I received my Duolingo overview for the year or whatever, streak is the thing that motivates me the most to keep going.
To me, it's the number of words learned.
So what is your most motivating thing while going on Duolingo?
It's no, I want to learn some new French. I'm getting a new French because I like to believe that things should be done because of internal motivation, not outer bullshit.
Yes, but Duolingo very often doesn't teach me anything
So
daily.
external.
Listen,
So pretentious.
Listen. I told you that Duolingo sometimes doesn't teach me anything daily. It's too easy sometimes. Like right now, I'm in this weird moment on my Spanish journey that I just missed 10 words or something, so I cannot skip it. And I have to go click by click, and it still doesn't teach me these words. I don't know. They are probably in the last lesson. So I'm just going, and I know it all. It's so boring. I make mistakes because I click too fast, you know? And that's their method. They just want you to repeat and do things, not learn every day. Just participate every day.
I like all of that except for the streak. I disagree. That's all. I mean, the streak is cool. The streak freeze is what I disagree
Yeah,
with.
I get it. I think 2 strict freezes is a bit too much. I think I had 100 days streak before I left, or 200, I don't know, when I decided to let go, But it was such an achievement. Like, none of my friends had it. And I was like, oh my God, I sacrificed my life for Duolingo. That's amazing. But now a lot of my friends have like amazing streaks because there's like those 2 freezes, of course. It's not that amazing anymore. It's not that hard. But so what? I don't have, like, no one has to be special. Like, it's great that they are having great like numbers, and I also can have a great number. It's fine, Moher.
Well, we have talked about it. Talk to me next week after you actually have digested everything that we said here, and tell me you still stand your ground, Moher.
Oh my God. Challenge accepted.
Yes, employ all of your philosophical arguments with yourself, and then come and tell me streak freeze twice a week is awesome.
Okay, I will try. I will gather info.
All right, that's a challenge for you.
I think I can leave a poll in Spotify. So in our description,
Sure.
So instead of asking like, how did you like the episode? I would just ask, what do you think about Duolingo freeze?
Oh, please do that.
All right.
Please. Everybody would say it's terrible.
Yeah, everybody.
If they
our
do
2
not,
subscribers, maybe.
maybe you should go on Facebook and do that with your friends.
Oh,
I don't know, just as an experiment or something.
That I have a podcast. Shit, I forgot. How could I? So that. Do you still use Facebook, you boomer?
I still use it, but I haven't announced anywhere about the podcast.
I know.
I have to filter out my friends.
I know.
No, I don't want the wrong people to hear to the right things. Like, it's gonna be
people?
terrible.
Listen, if I shared it, it can get to wrong people anyway by like some strange circle of things.
Of course, yes. Of course. No, I wouldn't be surprised.
It can even go to CEO of Duolingo.
Oof. Let's see. Let's see.
Your streak freeze dilemma.
No streak freezes for me. I mean, if I have to, it's just like public holidays here. I take them because I'm forced to, but do I want them? No.
It's so interesting. You just want your life to be more difficult. And I get it. I used to have it also because I felt like I suffered and everyone's life should be hard and I should like conquer it and stuff. But Rahman, occurs it can be nice and pleasant and still good. You don't have to earn it.
No, it's not about suffering. What? Are you saying I could just get free money and stuff like that?
Free money? No.
Free streak? Well, that's why I don't like public holidays, because I want to be working.
Oh my God, Mujer. Such an Egyptian of you. No one is listening. Your country is not listening. It's fine to say you don't want to work on a public holiday.
No, it's for me. It's not for my country. It's my own personal agenda.
Oh my God.
It's what I want. Yeah.
Okay, after this year, we will see it again. After you develop all those nice hobbies, you become a writer, you read 100 books, and then you will not want to work on a public holiday anymore, and you will enjoy those 2 streak freezes.
If you read for 20 minutes a day, you will probably finish a book every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on the size of the book. And that means 15 books at best, probably 10 books on average, nothing too amazing. Do you remember that amazing reading list that we had? It could have been possible following this regime in a disciplined manner.
I read so many of these books, and you read like 1 or 2.
Hey,
no, you read 1.
I read I Served the King of England. There was this
you read
People
that?
in the Tree book. It was so good. I loved that book. There was that Kids in a Tree thing book. I don't remember
I didn't like this one.
Was,
the People in the Tree.
And there was the memoirs of Sylvia Plath, but I just read like maybe 60 pages
this
or something.
So
and
good.
then
and you like just tossed it out. Like, it was the best book on the list, honestly.
Still have it on my Kindle, and it's still there where I stopped. There's always hope.
I read have you read the How to Kill the Mockingbird?
No, not yet.
I remember I really liked the Flyer of Kites or whatever.
Oh, that was a nice one.
And of course, 1000 Nights, Arabian Nights. I read like 11 parts, 11 books out of like gazillion ones. Wow, I listened to it for hours. I listened so many
Arabian
hours.
Nights is really long. I read it when I was maybe in middle school or something, but in Arabic, yeah.
But it was so interesting though. Like it really has, stories never change. When you read this book that is so old, you just see that it's just covers all the time other versions of, it's crazy.
Okay, for the last bit today, we have a question from my friend. Okay, so I was asked this question about you after listening to our first podcast.
Uh-huh.
So she was a Catholic, and after having a conversation with you, she became an Antichrist. Did I get that right? So I was not very sure how to answer this question. I can never give myself so much credit, leading somebody especially to become an Antichrist. So the mic is yours, Mohair, if you feel comfortable.
Oh shit. Honestly, I'm very surprised. I think I'm not an Antichrist. I'm not sure what an Antichrist definition exactly is, but I'm not denying.
I would assume atheist.
Do you think so? I'm not sure. Like, I was in church 2 weeks ago on a Holy Mass. With respect, I tried to like feel the spirit and stuff like that. However, I'm not able to say the confession of truth, we call it in Polish. I don't know how to translate it. In which we say like, I believe in only God and His Son, blah, blah, blah. I'm not able to say these things out loud because I don't believe any of the sentences, basically. And of course, it wasn't so easy that after talking to you, I came back totally changed. It was a very long process. But we always think with Rahman that this conversation that we had next to the lake in Hanoi was the moment I started seriously doubting if what I'm believing is really Catholicism. Because, as he mentioned, I was a Catholic that would choose and pick. And that's very true. I, for example, confessed to him that I didn't believe that, I don't know, Mother Mary was a virgin. I was like, why would God has, like, such a big deal with virgins even, like, I don't get it and stuff. Like, for sure, it's just a symbol. And he was like, well, but it says it. Like, what do you mean? You cannot just pick it. Yeah, it got me thinking. A big part, I think, of it was also me reading a book of Yuval Noah Harari, Sapiens. Just made me thinking. And actually, I think the Pope also. The Pope changed. I really agreed to him, and priests in Poland didn't. Which made me see religion very politically, and I saw how different the same religion looked in Cambodia and stuff. I miss my religion, definitely. I just feel like this conversation that we had on the lake made me realize that I lost my faith. I believe that faith is kind of a gift, or a luck or something, and I didn't have it in me for sure anymore. I was just trying to have a grip on it. Do you think it's true, Rahman, what I said? I don't know if I answered the question.
I personally agree with you. I think that faith is a gift or like something good to have. It gives you a sense of peace. And I would hate to think that I was the reason for anyone to leave that peaceful place and
I wasn't
jump
in a peaceful place for sure. No.
Into a well of darkness. However, it always feels good being influential, being told so. So I would be really in a conflicted place if I was actually told I was the reason for anyone to be embracing anything or not.
No, but sure not. Like Rahman, like as we said before, I always looked for some truth and authenticity. And Rahman was kind of a voice that made me ask myself some questions and realize that for a long time, I actually was wishing to believe rather than believing anything.
All right, so I'm glad I'm not the one that made you the Antichrist.
But let's keep joking about it, It's a good joke to have. Oh my God, we should talk about this conversation sometime more. I would like to recall this moment. It was kind of cool. What was the question that your friend asked to you? Because you said you had two questions.
The first question was, what did you mean life excitement was leaving you when you guys first met?
Yes.
I said that I meant that I was losing that careless, strong passion that used to drive me. And instead of a feeling of responsibility and search for deeper meaning had begun to settle in.
You definitely calmed down. You were looking for thrills so much more back when I met you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, before we met. Oh.
Yeah, and now you grew up, kind of like you thought it all through and...
Yeah. But like, I saw it as, like, oh, you have life experience, do this, do that, woo-hoo, you know, and then I'm like, nah.
I remember when I met you, you said a thing that made me very shocked. You said that what you aim for in life is new experiences. You don't care if it's good, bad, beneficial, I don't know, cocaine or whatever. If you haven't done it, then it's a new experience, and that's what you're for. Yeah, I remember I was trying to even have a discussion with you. I don't remember if we ended up having it. That if I know something I will not like, I just don't want to dive into that at all. But you were like, no, I'm open for experiencing whatever it is because that's life. It was quite radical of you, I think.
I remember this philosophy. Part of it was about experiencing things, and the main part was about understanding the meaning of things. And I still kind of live by this philosophy. I have not abandoned it. However, I'm less eager to be trying a lot of things that I had once wanted to try.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say I could still try many things that some people would see as unhealthy. However, I'm not chasing any of it anymore.
Exactly.
Like
yeah,
I used to chase these experiences. I wanted to have new experiences, but now I don't really care anymore if something was to present itself in a moment and it was there and it felt convenient. I was like, okay, well, I guess now I'm going skydiving. That sounds like a fun thing to do, you know?
Yeah, open to life rather than
but yes, still
say.
Open, like at least when it comes to theory, to a lot of things. Yes.
Should we finish? I have 1 hour and 15 minutes to edit already.
All right, Mojerita.
All right, thank you for podcasting.
See you next time.
Ciao, ciao, podcast.